Hello everyone and welcome back. Now, what are the 3 quick rules for making money in property? Now, this is not all of the rules, please. There are like 101 rules. Okay, ignore that. Let's just talk about what are the rules for making money in property. Now, for me, one of the most important rules, and one of the ones that I think people forget a lot, is buy at the right price. You know, you make your profit when you purchase the property, because if you've got it cheap enough, you could flip it as is in auction or sell it on. Right, if you've got it really cheap enough. Alternatively, if you've got it cheap enough, once you've done a refurb, you'll make profit at the end, which is what we all aim for. But if you've bought at the wrong price, yes, you can still make money, but your options may be limited. You may not be able to refinance it and keep it anymore. You may just have to do it and sell it, even though you had different plans for it. You may not be able to get rid of it on day one, which, look, we don't all have the luxury of that. And I say luxury, but we don't all get deals where you can make money on day one. But if you can, that's 3 exits for your investors and for the people you're working with. You sell it as is, you sell it when it's done, or you refinance it when it's done. You've locked in equity and profit from day one. That's pretty sweet. So buying at the right price is really important. Now, how do you buy at the right price? Well, it's a factor of a lot of things because you have to analyze the end value correctly, the refurb correctly, the costs on purchase, and then how much you can pay for it, but also maybe what's happening in the wider market around you. Are you going to do that? Can you do that? Do you know how to? Have you learned how to, or are you guessing? Are you going off what you read on one blog post or heard on one podcast, or have you done this properly, or have you got someone who can guide you and look over this? Because it's important. Because I promise you, if you don't buy at the right price, yes, a rising market may save you, but it may not be what you want to do, and you still may not make the money that you planned on making. So you really need to think about this, buying at the right price. Another rule for making money in property, you don't always have to do this, but it's adding value. It doesn't have to be a refurb. It doesn't have to be new carpets and paint. It could be extending a lease. It could be sorting out some sort of legal issue. It could be evicting a tenant. It could be getting a new tenant. In commercial, it could be extending the covenant. It could be getting a stronger lease with a different thing. It could be getting permitted development, getting planning. You can do a lot of things to add value. Have you got a list of value adds? And are you looking, when you look at deals, oh, well, okay, what angles have we got here to value add? Is it 1? Is it 2? What are we doing here? Some things you think may add value, by the way, may not. Extensions, loft extensions, dormers, things like that. In reality, in some places, like in the north, where the cost of building it is more than the cost of value it adds, you're losing value. So in some places, those kind of things don't necessarily work. And obviously with legal issues, it may be some cases that the fees are so prohibitive, it just doesn't work. And it is what it is. But obviously you need professionals around you, and you need to be experienced enough or educated enough to understand this. But adding value is so important because it allows you to create equity, to create money in a deal. When you sell it, if you sell it, will give you a profit, and obviously if you're keeping it, increase the rental income or the cash flow, whatever it is. So adding value is super, super important, and it's what I do in the BRR model. It's what I do in the flip model. So just remember, if you can add value, trust me, you're adding value to your bottom line and to your back pocket. Now, another thing, which again, this is not an exhaustive list, is to market it correctly. Yes, we're in a crazy market right now. You could probably overprice it. It'll probably sell very quickly. But what I suppose I really mean is, are the photos nice? Is the lighting correctly done? Are the angles good? Is it a proper wide angle lens? Is it taken by a photographer? Is the video done well? Is it edited well? If you've got a Matterport 3D tool, is it done well? How is the agent describing it on the listing? Are they using the right keywords, using the right SEO? Is it marketed correctly? And again, with the price, even on rentals, you really have to be careful. Are you marketing correctly? You only get one chance to make a first impression. And, if you can offer it at the right price first time, it says a lot about the property. Look, you can always reduce it, it's fine, it's not the end of the world. But I just think kind of hitting that market first, and this is where your knowledge, your data, local agent data is really, really important in ensuring that you do hit it right. So what's really important for buying property? Buying at the right price to lock in a profit from day one where possible. Number 2, adding value to lock in equity or to create profit. And number 3, number 3, right? Marketing it correctly. Now this, yes, you get an agent, you get an expert on it, but you need to be in charge of it and know what you're doing. So understand what a good listing looks like. Most of the time, it's what you would look at and what you would pick up on. But again, having a good agent is really going to help you get this right. So thanks again for tuning in. Please leave a comment below. Please hit like. And if you're on YouTube, well, please hit subscribe.